Hey guys, RJ here, and after last episode's kind of like bad performance and bad run by the team, I kind of thought it was necessary to really get this episode going. So as you can see by the start of the episode, I have a look at the table and I realise I'm dropped out of the promotion zone, which is obviously bad. It means the main objective is to get promoted. So I come against Torquay and I was really positive about this game, really thinking, come on, this is the game, I've got to win, this is like getting the team back on track, really going to do well here. And to be honest, it was the complete opposite of that at all. It's a really sloppy game. That was all over me all game. And I was glad for it to end, to be honest. It ended 1-1. And it was just a really bad performance by the team overall. But after the game, I get a bit of information about Chris Eva, who, if you've watched previous episodes, he's one of my youth players, and it shows that he's a right mid, which I've kind of like acquired and got some more information about him. And his max rating, possibly his max potential rating, is 84, which is pretty amazing. So I'll go into the next game obviously feeling quite positive about that, and I'll come out of that 2-1. And the game after that is a FA Cup game, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's two of them in this episode, and this is the first one. And it was so key that I won this because, like I've mentioned also in the last episode, I've been really got hardly any transfer budget or transfer wages. So all these youth players that are coming through, I'm ending up not being able to bid for them. So the chance of other teams bidding for him or buying him or whatever, I don't know, I really felt that I needed to start winning these games. And there's also, as well as that, just to rest some of the players, really key players. So I felt like, because of this game, I definitely wanted to win. So I put a lot of decent players on there. This probably isn't my best squad out. I haven't got Tyler on there, who seems to be one of my star players. But nevertheless, early on in the game, I get this penalty. And even though I looked through the list of people to take the penalty for ages, I couldn't really find anyone because Solano weren't on, who usually takes them. But Wing took that one away quite nicely and grabs us the the lead. And then Sawyers come, and obviously Sawyers, who has actually shone through in the last couple of episodes, and who last episode was one of the better players, shines through here and grabs the man of the match performance as we win 3-1. After the game, I don't even get any information about like, oh, you've acquired this amount of money or anything. The only thing I get is that one of my youth players, or one of the people I've scouted that I potentially could have come to my youth squad, has now left and become somebody else's youth player. But after that game, I was quite frustrated. And I go into this game and I pull off a 4-0 win. Then my recorder messed up here and I couldn't record it. But basically, Tyler got an hat-trick and it was quality. It was a really, really good game. And I was really annoyed not to be able to record that because basically I had it recorded and I was like, oh, that's a really good game. And I looked just after half time, I was like, oh. And then nothing really happened in the second half. It was just, so I was stuck with that and just showed you that. So I was a bit gutted about that. But we get a bit more information about youth players, which seem to be the key of the moment. And obviously you can see there Steve Pearce has gone to Adalech, I think that's pronounced, I'm not sure. So there's still quite a few decent players coming up, but a few of them aren't too promising, which I guess you can't do that with every player. But I don't know, I just got to wait another month to get the news on them. But as you can see, I finally received the money from the FA Cup transfer, and I come up against Macclesfield, who currently knocked me out of the cup, talking about cup games, and I was really annoyed, and I really wanted to beat these, because I'm really getting into this, like the sad nerdy kid that I am. So, straight from the kick-off to get this attack, and I'm like crapping myself, no! And luckily enough, it was offside, and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. But Morsino, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I need to get better with these, especially with my teammates. But he puts a really quality ball down to Tyler, who puts it into Sawyers, and Sawyers, my little lad by your in form, is not going to mess that up. So from the 14th minute, I have the kick-off again, obviously. And Osborne puts a good tackle in there and puts it over to Sawyers, who I find Sawyers passes to Bradshaw here and scores, and he ain't going to miss them, Bradshaw. What I was going to say was Sawyers, Bradshaw and Taylor seem to be a really quality combination. I've dropped Win, the my left winger back to midfield, and he seems to be progressing quite well there instead of playing there. And I really felt quite positive so far leading up to this game against Accrington Stanley and everything. And I just, to be honest, I just battered me. It was only 1-0 in the end, but it could have been any score. That was really quality, and I had such a good pitch as well. Which is kind of irrelevant, but I just thought I'd share it. So, but I come up against Bournemouth, which is actually the most important game of this episode, and basically it's the game where I needed to win this to advance in the FA Cup, or I think it was, no, because the Morecambe game was the qualification for the FA Cup, so this was the actual FA Cup. So I really wanted to win this to get some more money for the team and everything, and I'll put a really strong side on here, or I'll try and put a really strong side on. As you can see, I'll drop Winter midfield, and leave Taylor, Bradshaw and Sawyers up front, and I really felt that this was going to be a proper hard game. I was like, I was quite, not annoyed about it, but just a bit frustrated. I'd come up against some really good opposition, but I basically ate my own words, happily enough as I was to say that. And in the 3rd minute, Taylor goes through and scores, and I was like, whoa. So, whoa. I was like, well impressed with how that had actually happened, and I was like, really happy that happened. And Taylor, who's been on quality form, puts it into Bradshaw, and the 3 up front works off brilliantly. And this was a really good episode, and I was really happy with how this turned out. So I'm going to end it here and just let you watch the rest of the game and enjoy it. Please keep up with the series and try and watch as many as you can, because I really do appreciate every view I get. So anyways, peace.